Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we are in for a treat. We are going to be spending the day with Armelle, who owns La Petite Cabane de Boisvinet. Armelle runs La Cabane with her daughter Leia, and the two of them are the dynamic duo when it comes to serving up food and drink, as well as a wonderful sense of community.
Merci. J'ai commencé jeune, j'ai commencé à 15 ans.
Leia started working at the cabane when she was just 15 years old, something you can do in France if you're working for a family member. But years later, she loved it so much that her mom made her a partner, and now they run Families the operation have enjoyed together. The beach of Boisvinet for generations. In fact, little beach cabins are part of the history of the area. In 2015, Armelle launched her little beach cabin on the beach, serving snacks and drinks. And it became so popular with the locals that she had to increase the size to what it is today. But this is still a temporary structure. It gets taken down in the fall and put back up in the spring. The whole thing has to be put together again, like a jigsaw puzzle. But there is nothing more exciting for those of us that live here year-round to see the structure back again in the spring. The flags get put up, the windows are popped open, and it's the official start of the summer. And just look at that view. What a great place to work. Bonjour Armelle.
Bonjour Beth. Donc voilà la cabane le matin.
The morning is a busy time at the cabane because everything gets put away the night before and then they have to take it all back out for the day ahead.
On range un petit peu l'intérieur, on ouvre les volets pour montrer qu'on est ouvert.
And as soon as those windows are propped open, the clients start to appear. Et c'est très populaire dans le matin d'avoir les clients qui viennent juste pour le café.
Ah exactement. Tous les matins, surtout le week-end, il y a déjà beaucoup de gens qui profitent du fait qu'il n'y ait pas beaucoup de monde et puis de la beauté de la mer dès le matin. Voilà.
Magnifique. Okay. For those who live in the neighborhood, the cabane is the perfect first stop on the way into town. You'll find neighbors here catching up on the day's event. You never know who will be passing by on the boardwalk, and there's always room for just a few more. Et s'il y a quelqu'un arrive, il y a 2 tables plus.
Voilà, c'est ça. Parce qu'il y a beaucoup de gens qui lisent les...
For a lot of locals, the cabane is the first stop of the day. So oftentimes they like to read the newspaper and get caught up on what's happening in the area.
Donc tous les matins, j'arrive avec le journal.
Ah, c'est super. Now there's another family member who makes the cabane equally special, and that's Philippe, husband to Armelle and father to Leia. Philippe adds this wonderful social element to the cabane. He knows all the clients that comes in there. He'll greet you by name.
Je suis le seul garçon, il n'y a que des filles, donc c'est bien d'avoir des garçons.
Oui, exactement. Et je crois que tu es très équillant avec les clients.
Très client. J'aime les clients.
Oui. During the season and the weekends, they offer a petit déjeuner, which is a crusty baguette and some homemade jam. The jam today is apricot, and it is made by Leia's grandmother.
Et elle fait à la fraise aussi.
Ah, super. They also serve really amazing coffee.
J'ai votre petit déjeuner de près?
In fact, I'll always remember how delicious their coffee is because the morning after we moved, we woke up bleary-eyed after surviving a 12-hour flight, packing up 30 boxes and saying goodbye to all of our family and friends. And we received the warmest welcome that morning from Armelle. I will never forget her generosity and kindness to us on that very first morning. Once the cabane is open and operating, then Armelle heads into town to pick up some of the local products. This is one of the things that I really respect about what she does. It could easily be a very simple snack bar, but Armelle takes it one step further. All of the products she uses are local, the highest of quality, and she really takes pride in the vendors she works with. Bonjour! Today we're picking up some goat cheese, which will be used for her very popular cocktail platters that are served in the evening. The vendor has a new cheese that's half goat and half cow's milk. It's something that Armelle is excited about, but of course she always tastes everything first before she serves it to her clients.
Là, ici, c'est le passage obligatoire. À chaque fois qu'on va au marché, on s'arrête chez Luna. Donc, c'est le seul endroit où on peut boire un petit café.
Luna is a friend of her daughter Leia's, and I'm always amazed by how many drinks she can offer out of her little van here. Ce plat, c'est incroyable avec les 2 machines comme ça.
Je me suis dit, mais il manque quelque chose en fait sur le marché, autant pour les commerçants que pour les gens qui se baladent. Donc voilà, j'ai décidé de me lancer et de faire une petite buvette sur les marchés.
Tu l'avais?
Ben, sur la bâche.
My husband and I love to come here too in the winter time. Sometimes we'll meet Armelle and we'll get all huddled up under these tables, and it's just a really fun, cozy thing to do, to have a coffee in the market. It's also practical too because it's a really handy place to park your husband with a latte while you finish up the weekly shopping. That's awesome. This is one of the things that I love about living here is a lot of the local businesses are owned by people who live in the town. So while we were in town, we thought we would stop in on our friends Greg and Sandra who own the shop Carico.
Bonjour. Hi, good to see you.
Sandra and Greg speak English, which is always kind of fun after I've been struggling all day with my French to pop in here and speak a little English with them. Sandra, I'm planning for my book tour and I need some outfits.
Okay.
What's new that's exciting?
This is a French brand from Marseille, and I love it.
So
it's so
cute. Oh, that's adorable. I have to come back and try that on. Oh, with a little belt.
No ironing.
No ironing, I know.
Also have nice stripes.
Oh, yes, that's very
Maybe
nice.
that's very French.
That's very French, yes. I like what you're wearing. Now, this is adorable.
This is
For
Mio,
summer.
it's an Italian brand, and this is
okay.
great. This is soon.
It's so cute. And do you sell online or do people have to come to Saint-Gilles if they
We'll
want?
have to come to Saint-Gilles because we are very special. And we like to have people in our shop because we take care
Yes.
of the women. They have a nice place, you know.
Yes,
to try
dressing room.
clothes.
Yeah. These are comfortable. Let's see, do you think I could get away with these?
Castanier is Spanish. It's very old. It's almost handcrafted.
Oh, okay. Yeah, these maybe, the heel might be better for me.
Yeah, those
Yeah.
ones are very easy.
So many cute things. I'll definitely have to head back in there before I leave for my book tour next week. Next up, we were going to pick up some wine. The weather forecast had a beautiful weekend coming, and because of it, Armelle wanted to have some extra bottles on hand because she was going to get pretty busy.
Combien de bouteilles?
Ah, c'est énorme. On prend beaucoup de cubis. J'ai une énorme descente. Je bois beaucoup de vin.
Armelle sources her wine from Côte-Bière Côte-Vin, which is one of the local wine merchants in town. It's also a great place to come for a drink, especially in the wintertime. It has a cozy bar and they have lots of fun events here as well. This fall, we came for their Beaujolais Nouveau party, which celebrates the young red wine. We came with the two Philippes, as we call them, and they cooked up an enormous batch of tartiflette, which was one of the biggest things I've ever seen. It was totally delicious and decadent.
Côté vin, côté bière. Depuis
la naissance du monde.
Non, mais alors,
It was a funny joke, but I think it also just underscores her relationship with all of these local vendors. And I think that's what makes the Cabane so special, that not only are you supporting a local business, but all of the local vendors you're also supporting every time you go there. Merci.
Au revoir, Beth.
Au revoir.
À bientôt.
À bientôt. Okay, everything was purchased and Armelle is ready for her busy weekend ahead. Salut! On a le produit. It's time to put away all the products and get to work. The lunch rush is coming. Another thing that's really charming about the Cabane is it's another great place where you can find out what the tides are and the weather is going to be. In France, the saints are also celebrated, so you can find out what saint day it is. Today is Saint Pascal, and a lot of people are named for their saint day. Then she'll also put the tides, what the wind is going to be, and all the essential information you need to know when living by the beach. Merci beaucoup, c'est très intéressant. It's funny, when I lived in Los Angeles, I never really took advantage of the good weather because we always had good weather. But not here, the weather is constantly changing, so it's made me so much more appreciative for when we have days that look like this. And these are the days we head to the Cabane for lunch.
Et on vous appelle quand c'est prêt.
Super, merci.
À tout de suite.
Okay, lunch is ready. This is one of my favorite things to get. It's the burrata salad with tomatoes and lettuce. And this is really where the quality pays off because the bread is fresh, the ham is delicious, the butter is softened. It's just the perfect sandwich. And you certainly can't beat the view. Bon appetit. On Sundays, it's also fun to come here because that's when Armelle serves up the oysters. She works with a local purveyor from the island of Noirmoutier. And the oysters are so fresh and delicious, and in fact, they are opened according to order. So as soon as you place your order, Marie Emmanuel is opening them right there on the spot. And it is quite an art. So she doesn't want to force the opening because she wants to preserve the presentation of the oyster inside. And it's also important to delicately open them so that you don't get too much shell inside the oyster as well. It takes a special oyster enthusiast to sit out there when it's cloudy and cold and eat oysters. But I have to say, it's actually part of the fun too. The oysters are served with bread and butter and a little bit of lemon, and normally you would have a nice white wine to go with it, but it was a little early in the day for me for wine, so I stuck with my Perrier. Okay, go ahead.
Take a knife or a small spoon or a small
For a fork.
and you come to cut the muscle here, guys.
Oh yeah, because there's that little muscle that needs to
And
be
you
lifted.
make sure you keep it straight. You don't want the juice to go away.
If you've never had an oyster before, you don't want to dump out all that juice or water that has formed at the bottom of the shell. That is where all the flavor is. All right, and no chewing, one fell swoop.
After not chewing, shell. It's like a shot.
It's like a shell. Down the hatch.
And it is so good.
It has taken me 25 years to like an oyster. So as soon as we were married, we spent one of our first Christmases in France. And you can't have a French Christmas without an oyster. And all of my French family were pushing the oysters on me. I just could not do it. And ever since then, every 5 years, the oysters would come back and my family would keep pushing them on me. And it wasn't until this Christmas that I actually embraced the oyster and ended up liking it. So now we've been coming here most Sundays to have oysters. Down the hatch. In the late afternoon, you'll start to see the men playing pétanque on the sand, the kids will be at the beach, and this is another very important time for La Cabane. When it's 4 o'clock in France, this is the official time that French parents will serve their kids le goûter. This is our other favorite time to come here. We jump on our bikes for the goûter to have a gaufre or a crêpe. French parents are pretty strict about le goûter, and kids here in France are not allowed to snack all day long. So 4 o'clock is when the snack happens, and if you walk by the cabane at this hour, you will most often smell the delicious aroma of crepes and gaufres cooking inside. C'était très bon. Armelle plugs in the crepe machine and the waffle iron at least a full half hour before because they do take some time to warm up. She makes all of her batter by scratch. It's all made homemade. And in fact, it's a bit of a secret recipe that lots of people, I'm sure, are dying to know how to make. When she puts the batter down, she spreads it out with a flip of the wrist. She's making it look very easy. This is very hard to do. I've tried it, and let me tell you, she is a pro. It gets a little sugar and lemon, and then it's ready to be served. I like a crepe, but my real weakness is the gaufre, especially her recipe. They are so fantastic and delicious. I can't resist them. She puts a little butter and sugar on them as well as Nutella, and I tell you, my husband and I, we fight over them.
C'est pour papa, c'est pour daddy.
Merci. The thing that makes these so good is they're like crispy on the outside and chewy on the inside, and then you have the Nutella, which is slightly warmed. It is so good. It's worth the jet lag. Now, of all the moments at the cabane, the one that is the most popular has to be the hour of apéro. Je reviens. It starts about 7 o'clock, and this place gets nuts. When it's a beautiful day, you can be sure that just about everyone you know ends up here. Salut! The sun is starting to set, and just about the whole neighborhood has gathered here. The parents are having their drinks, the kids are playing in the sand, and it is such an amazing community atmosphere. And the best part are the cocktail platters. All right, now, dis-moi, c'est quoi sur la planche?
XL. Donc il y a une burrata, un camembert rôti, 3 charcuteries, un œuf, des olives, cornichons, abricots secs.
Ah, c'est magnifique. Merci.
Bon apéro!
La Cabane perfectly defines the theory of the third place. The idea that home is your first place, work is your second place, and then there are these public spaces where you come to relax and meet with friends. They have the power to create a sense of belonging and become anchors in the community. We never had that back in LA, and it's been so much fun to meet all different types of people and foster new friendships here. Third places are hard to create. A ton of little ingredients go into making them work. But Armelle and her team, along with Philippe, are a big part of the secret ingredients. And we are all so grateful that a place like this even exists. She's truly succeeded at creating something everybody here loves so much.
Thank you.